Welcome back to Elevation Perspective. My name is Mark, and today we're continuing our positional rankings with the second base position. At number 10, Jackson Holliday of the Baltimore Orioles. Holliday came into the league with enormous expectations that he's yet to meet. His first full season came in 2025 when he batted .242 with 17 home runs and a .689 OPS. Not an awful line, but it was relatively disappointing for a prospect of his caliber. Where I was mostly disappointed here was he rated out as a very poor defender at second base and a poor base runner. With his natural athleticism and his really solid sprint speed, he should be better on both the bases and on defense. Holliday is just 22 years old and development is not linear. He has plenty of time to get this right. He's on the short list of players with the most potential around the entire league. Number 9, Gleyber Torres of the Detroit Tigers. Gleyber hit .256 with 16 home runs and a .745 OPS in 2025. Solid overall stats, but nothing spectacular. I, for one, was actually shocked the Tigers chose to extend Gleyber the qualifying offer, which he eventually accepted. I think there are a lot of things that Gleyber does well. He has a great knowledge of the strike zone and gets on base at a very high clip. His power has kind of gone away over the years. He sits more in the mid to late teens now, and he's been a subpar defender and bad base runner his whole career. I just kind of think Gleyber is what he is. Okay batting average, okay power, good on base with bad defense. Number 8, Ozzie Albies of the Atlanta Braves. Albies batted .240 with 16 home runs and a .671 OPS in 2025. That's back-to-back years for Albies dealing with injuries and putting up subpar offensive numbers. Albies is just 29 years old. In theory, he shouldn't be declining this drastically, just a few years removed from a 33-homer season, but he has really bad quality of contact metrics and he's a bad defender. I'm certainly not ruling out a bounce back for Albies, but right now I'm not very excited about his outlook entering 2026. Number 7, Brandon Lowe, now of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Lowe is tricky because he is just an awful defensive second baseman and probably should be moved off the position in the immediate future. But while he is still a second baseman right now, he's probably the best pure power hitter at the position. In 2025, Lowe hit .256 with 31 home runs and a .785 OPS. Lowe has had some serious durability issues throughout his career, but when he's on the field, he's an awesome offensive player, and I expect that to continue in Pittsburgh. I just think it would be in their best interest to make him their DH. At number 6, Marcus Semien, now of the New York Mets. Marcus Semien is not that MVP caliber player he once was. He is certainly in an offensive decline now entering his age 35 season, but I think there are still really strong positives in Semien's game. In 2025, Semien hit .230 with 15 home runs and a .669 OPS. Semien has been one of baseball's Iron Men. He historically does not miss games. Of course, he did miss 35 games in 2025, kind of a freak accident when he fouled a ball off his foot, resulting in a fracture. Semien's main strength now is his defense. He still rates out as one of, if not the best defensive second baseman in all of baseball, and he still runs very well. If Semien is able to bounce back and just be league average with the bat, maybe 20 home runs with an OPS over 700, I think he's going to have an extremely valuable season in his first year in Queens. Number 5, Nico Hoerner of the Chicago Cubs. I'm a big fan of Nico Hoerner. In 2025, he batted .297 with 7 home runs and a .739 OPS. I think he's such an awesome glue guy that's such a valuable player on any team that just does everything well with the exception of hitting for power. But when you have this kind of bat-to-ball skills with great speed and elite defense, you don't necessarily need to hit for power too. Hoerner is currently the subject of some trade rumors after the Cubs added Alex Bregman, but I think Hoerner will be and is a very effective player on any team. Number 4, Bryce Terang of the Milwaukee Brewers. Terang had a breakout season in 2025, drastically changing his profile from a poor hitting speedster to kind of an all-around stud. In 2025, Terang hit .288 with 18 home runs and a .794 OPS. For a reference point, in 2024, Terang hit just .254 with 7 home runs and a .665 OPS. I personally always find it very impressive when a player is able to add both batting average and power and does not need to sell out for one or the other. I'm a little bit skeptical about Terang sustaining this kind of production, but the Savant page looks pretty good, suggesting it wasn't really a fluke. He's just 26 years old, so the breakout shouldn't be incredibly shocking. If nothing else, we know he has a really strong floor as a plus defensive, great stolen base threat. Number 3, Jose Altuve of the Houston Astros. It really feels like Altuve should not be this high on the list still, but Altuve just doesn't stop hitting. In 2025, Altuve batted .265 with 26 home runs and a .771 OPS. The defense is a problem here, and it has been for a handful of years, with the Astros attempting to play him some in left field this year, but he eventually found his way back to second base by season's end. This is kind of a tricky one because I have been really hard and held a lot of players on this list with their bad defense against them. But in Altuve's case, how consistent he's been with the bat for now 15 seasons, he still deserves to be in this position even at age 35 with bad defense. Number 2, Jazz Chisholm Jr. of the New York Yankees. It kind of caught me off guard when I was making this list just how good of a season Jazz Chisholm just had. In 2025, Chisholm hit .242 with 31 home runs and an .813 OPS. Jazz also rated out plus defensively with 31 stolen bases to add on. He got to 30-30 while missing 32 games. That's a tremendous accomplishment. Injuries have been the main problem plaguing Chisholm throughout his career, but his on-the-field stats on a per-game basis are always very strong. Jazz is entering a contract year in 2026. It'll be very interesting to see if he can get to that 150-game mark for the first time in his career. We've seen in the past players with an injury history find a way to stay healthy in their contract season. And at number 1, Ketel Marte of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Ketel may have been the center of trade rumors the last few months, but that had nothing to do with his talent. In 2025, Marte batted .283 with 28 home runs and an .893 OPS. Marte is an average defender and doesn't really run very well anymore, but he is truly one of the best hitters in baseball. A .280 plus batting average with 30 plus homer power while maintaining a 15% K rate and a 12% walk rate, he is the full package in the batter's box. Unfortunately, very similar to Jazz in this regard, Ketel's main problem is he struggles to stay on the field. A few near full seasons on his resume, but the majority of years you're getting around 130 games or less from Marte. Now at age 32 and rumored to be heavily shot by his own team, you wonder if those injuries will start to take a toll on him, but it didn't happen in 2025 and I don't really expect it to happen in 2026 either. Ketel Marte is just an elite talent and I feel he is very deserving of the number 1 spot. And that's our list ranking the top 10 second basemen in baseball entering 2026. I have not completed my rankings just yet, but doing the research for this video, I feel like second base will be the weakest position entering 2026. If you like this video, please hit subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.